we talk for a second about the food in Uruguay? Why? Because if I'm being honest, no one else really is. In fact, I wasn't even planning to make a video about food in Uruguay because I quickly realized that so many famous Uruguayan foods are pretty much the same as the most famous Argentinian foods. Right? Well, yes, but also no. The answer is both yes and no. My name is Josh, and I'm a digital nomad who lives in a different country every single month. Join me for a taste of Uruguay's food scene as we try 4 of their most famous dishes in the capital city of Montevideo. The national dish of Uruguay is a sandwich. Yup. When I found this out, I actually got really excited because I sort of love sandwiches. Like, if we're being honest, I could just eat sandwiches. This sandwich is called the Chivito. Now, the word Chivito actually translates to baby goat. But according to tradition, this sandwich in Uruguay is actually prepared with beefsteak or churrasco instead. But if you're doing it right, it's also going to have all the toppings and all the cheese and this incredible soft bun as well. For my Chivito, I went to Chiviteria Marcos, which is just a few blocks away from Montevideo's famous Posito Beach. And yeah, I made the right choice. They sell a variety of sandwiches, but it's impossible to miss the traditional Chivito because there is a huge picture of it right on the front of the menu, along with a list of all the ingredients. I am so glad that my hotel room came with a mini fridge because this sandwich is absolutely enough for 2 people, or in my case, 2 meals for 1 person. The fries that it came with were also really great, super fresh and crispy. I mean, I loved this. Side note, I also really appreciate that they sell Coke Zero in these huge 1-liter bottles. I peed 6 times that night. As great as this was, not that many people actually know about the Chivito. The most famous dish in Uruguay, at least to us foreigners, is generally considered to be something simply called asado. Asado is simple, asado is straightforward, and that's because asado is barbecue. It is throwing various cuts of beef or chicken or chorizo or whatever else you have lying around on the grill and firing it up. And yet, somehow in this part of the world, they do it better than anywhere else. Now, you will find asado in Argentina as well, but they take great pride in their asado dishes in Uruguay. For mine, I went to the iconic Mercado del Puerto to enjoy some meat at a place called Cabaña Verónica. Now, I like you, okay? So I'm gonna be honest with you, all right? This place, you know, it just might be a tourist trap, okay? In fact, I'm positive that the locals watching this video right now are screaming at their screen and just yelling suggestions for other, better local asado places. And you know what? If that's you, give it to me. Put them down in the comments. I would love to give them a try as well. And you're absolutely right. I mean, those places are probably really good too. But you know what? I don't care. Why? Because this place absolutely slaps. Now, this part is a little bit confusing because, like I said, the entire barbecue process is known as asado. However, you can also order a specific cut of ribs, which is separately known as asado de tira. So I ordered the asado cut of beef at the asado barbecue place. Does that make sense? I also had an absolutely incredible glass of this sweet white wine. It has to be one of the best glasses of wine that I have ever had. Seriously. The meal came with bread and butter to start, which I wouldn't even mention, except that this butter? How can butter be so good? I chalked it up to the fact that they just have so many cows in the region that the dairy must just be better than everywhere else. And then the asado meat itself. It looks just okay on camera. I mean, I'll be the first to admit that there are probably more photogenic cuts of beef out there, but just trust me, it tastes incredible. However this was prepared, however this is seasoned, I'm still not over it. Fantastic. Call this place a tourist trap, call it whatever you want. I don't care. In fact, I think it's just remarkably convenient. You'll probably be visiting Mercado del Puerto at some point during your trip to Montevideo anyway, so it's easy to add to your plans. And while you're in the Mercado area, if you still have room, I have a dessert suggestion for you as well. I say it all the time. I love sweets. And so you're probably wondering like, Josh, how don't you get cavities? Well, I sort of do. Actually, I'm pretty sure I need a filling right now. Cavities aside, if you like sweets, you are in good company in Uruguay. They love sweets, most namely their signature dessert/snack, Dulce de Leche. This is another iconic food item associated deeply with the Rio de la Plata region. The Rio de la Plata is the river along which you will find the capital of Uruguay, Montevideo, as well as the capital of Argentina, Buenos Aires. They might represent two totally separate nations, they might be complete rivals, but at the end of the day, they are very near each other and have quite a bit in common. The best way to eat dulce de leche is inside of an alfajor. Because inside of an alfajor, dulce de leche is basically just spread out between two cookies of some kind. What those cookies are like varies greatly. According to some, the best alfajores in Montevideo are here, at a shop rightfully called Alfajores del Uruguay. I tried them for myself, and yeah, they're good. Definitely worth trying if you are in the area. That said, altogether I spent 5 weeks along the Rio de la Plata, and you're gonna find alfajores available in every single convenience store that you enter. At times, even, handmade and packaged by the locals. So yes, do try these award-winning alfajores here at the Mercado. But if you like them a lot, be sure to also grab one or two next time you stop into a bodega or a convenience store. That's where I always found my favorites, the ones that were just super soft, melt in your mouth, and covered in coconut. But that's just me. I admit that it's kind of weird that I'm recommending that you go get food from a corner store, but I really do think in this situation that it's the best way to go. I saved this one for last because even though it might be a local favorite, it's not my personal favorite, but you might disagree. It's Milanesa. You're probably familiar because similar dishes exist all over the world. But if you didn't know, Milanesa is basically a cut of meat that has been breaded, seasoned, and fried. It's also very popular in Austria, where it's usually prepared with veal and known as Wiener Schnitzel instead. For mine, I chose a spot in Old Town known as El Copacabana. I started with a glass of Uruguay's famous wine known as Tanit wine. While Tanit wine does have its origins in France, it's really been made famous in Uruguay, and it has this super unique and sort of specific flavor. Now, I am no wine professional, but I do suggest that you try this for yourself. The Milanesa that I ordered here was doing the most. It came with a fried egg and peppers on top and was sitting on this whole bed of French fries. The portions in Uruguay were frequently really large, at least from the places that I visited, so that's something that's worth considering before you order. More than once, I ended up with leftovers. I feel confident recommending El Copacabana for Milanesa because it felt really high quality and was super enjoyable. That said, for me personally, even the best Milanesa feels a little bland, and it will probably not be my top choice for a meal in Uruguay if I ever go back. That said, I really do hope that I get the chance to go back. I really enjoyed the time that I spent in Montevideo, as well as the day that I spent in Uruguay's famous beach town known as Punta del Este. Uruguay is really incredible, and I think more people need to start taking notice of all the things that they are doing really well. In fact, I made an entire video about it. Click here to watch me talk about what it is that makes Uruguay so special.